Hey, Thomas here. Today we're going to be checking out a new take on an old concept with Fiji Cube's Advanced Hang on Refugiums. I'm going to be honest, I never really thought about adding dosing tube or probe holders to a hang on refugium previously, but I'm actually really liking what I see. Hang on refugiums are nothing new. Reefers have been using them for decades now to add a dedicated space for growing macroalgae like Chaeto, to control excess nutrients like nitrate and phosphate, and as a place to hide some extra substrate and rock for added biological filtration, as well as a safe space for copepods, amphipods, and other tiny organisms to proliferate as a way to help naturally feed our fish, corals, and inverts. Traditionally, hang on refugiums have been pretty basic. A rectangular box, usually made out of acrylic, that hangs on the back of your tank, similar to a power filter, with a pump in the tank to push water into it and a spillway over the edge for the water to return. They typically also have a short baffle to hold some substrate in place, and that's about it. Well, Fiji Cube is breathing new life into the hang on refugium with their advanced series. It's designed to fit rimless, trimmed tanks, and even the back of all-in-one tanks with adjustable side brackets and a leveling bracket. It's built using thick acrylic construction with nicely polished edges and includes an internal pump, removable light bracket, spillway extension, a clear polycarbonate lid, as well as 10 ports for probes and dosing tubes, making it more than just a hang on refugium, but a great way to add on some volume and utility to your all-in-one or standard tank. In the box, you'll find the hang on refugium with its lid already in place, the pump, soft tubing as well as rigid tubing and PVC fittings, the acrylic arms, the bottom leveling bracket, the optional light clamp bracket, the spillway extension, as well as 10 thumb screws. The advanced hang on refugiums are currently available in two sizes, a medium and a large. The medium comes in at 8 inches long by 5 inches wide and 12 inches tall, and the large comes in at 12 inches long with the same 5-inch width and 12-inch height. Like I mentioned earlier, they're going to fit on most rimless tanks as well as tanks with trim, and also make a great addition to the back of all-in-one systems. They use a pair of thick adjustable side brackets held in place by either 2 or 3 nylon screws depending on how far they're extended, along with a leveling bracket so that they can accommodate various panel thicknesses. The intake pipe is around 7.5 inches long, but it can be easily cut shorter with a hacksaw to fit the back chamber of an all-in-one tank if needed. One thing I really like about this design is that the pump is actually sitting inside of the hang on refugium to draw water into it and then push it through, very similar to how a power filter does. Doing it this way means you have less cords and ugly obstructions inside your display tank, and it makes it easier to incorporate it into the cramped rear chambers of an all-in-one system. Once the water is drawn into the refugium, it flows over a short baffle, across the refugium, and then up through the slotted grate and out of the spillway back into the tank. Fiji Cube also includes an extension for the spillway that you can slot on to help reduce any of the splashing or water noise if the water level in your tank runs on the lower side, which is going to be a very much appreciated feature for some of us. Nobody wants to deal with obnoxious splashing or salt spray getting all over the place, so thank you, Fiji Cube. Something worth mentioning though is that the intake tube does not have a strainer, which won't matter for those of us using it on the back of an all-in-one since the intake's going to be hidden in one of the back chambers, but for those using it on the back of a standard aquarium, you'll likely want to grab a 1/2-inch standard female slit PVC strainer to keep small critters from finding their way in. Now let's move on to those really nice touches that you wouldn't normally expect to see on a hang on refugium. First off, the clear polycarbonate lid is going to do a good job of mitigating some of the evaporation, as well as helping to prevent any salt spray from reaching the light fixture. It also has a pair of side cutouts to act as a handle while also allowing cords to pass through. There's also a removable acrylic light bracket that's designed to hold clamp-on style lights like this AI Prime gooseneck mount, and while it is likely meant to hold a light for the actual refugium, it certainly can also be used to make space for the reef tank's main light if used on a smaller tank like this one, which is fantastic. Like I mentioned earlier, it also has 4 probe ports, 2 that measure 1/2 inch in diameter and 2 larger ones measuring 0.67 inches in diameter, all of which are located over the pump section where water enters the refugium, as well as 6 dosing tube ports located directly over the entrance of the spillway, which makes perfect sense. That way any additives being dosed are landing in the highest flow area of the refugium and immediately exiting the spillway and being distributed into the tank. Personally, I think for reefers out there who've been looking for a way to add some of those higher end features that we generally associate with those upper tier sumps to their undrilled standard aquariums so that they can add something like a controller or a dosing system more easily and conveniently while also getting some dedicated refugium space, this thing is a perfect match. Speaking of match, if Fiji Cube's Advanced Hang on Refugium matches your reefing mantra, you can pick one up for yourself by clicking right here.